Yo, what is going on, everyone? So today I made another site with React and I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. So let's just go through the design really quick. Pretty standard, like SaaS startup looking design, but basically we got the nav menus up here, which we're going to be utilizing React Router and also hooks mainly for this design, and then pretty much standard stuff here. And then also the pages, they do navigate in this little cool card thing I'll show you later. I actually put some more effort into the pages instead of just adding like an image, but you can see that they switch back and forth. And then let's just scroll down and look at the design. So pretty much these right here, they're components. So basically this is the same exact thing. I just reversed the positioning. And then also the background, I have it as a light background. And then here again, got another component right there. And then here just some UI stuff I just wanted to add, a little fancy. Actually had to make this from scratch and check out my ugly Figma little concept I was going for. And then it basically turned out to become this. So not too shabby, but definitely let me know your feedback if you don't like it in the comments. But then again, we have another component, and then I just utilized a footer here. And this is the same one from the previous tutorial website that you saw, except I did refactor some of the code. And also, like, if you click here, I just add some more links. So here just opens up to my YouTube. So again, if you haven't subscribed, go click it somewhere on my link or wherever you're watching this and go subscribe to that. The thing I'm going to show you is that it opens up links in another tab. And the most important thing is that it is mobile responsive. So let me go back to the top, and then pretty much I will shrink everything. So right now we're still not a tablet, at least right here. Now we have the hamburger menu pop out. And then let me go a little farther, you can see what happens when it switches. So now it goes like this. And then all the images, these are SVGs. They go underneath. So if you notice how before they like switched, but when I put on mobile, I made it to where they all have to be text first, and also the buttons widen out here, and you can see, and then also a little clean cards right here, pricing cards. And also took off the hover effect, so it's fixed there. And then the footer obviously nice and clean here. And then last but not least, we'll click on the mobile menu. Boom. I got a little different effect this time today, but basically, you click here, got that little switcheroo, and then if I click on all of these, they basically go to different pages. And then even the home logo icon there too. And then one little trick I want to show you before we get into the code editors. I told you these are components, right? So I literally could print infinite sections of these with just different text. So the way I did it was basically like, let me go here. Let me just copy this like a million times, right? So like 1, 2, hit save. If I go now to my site, it's probably gonna go crazy. Let's see. Scroll all the way down. Let me go out farther. I added, I think it was like 6 under. So like under the here, now you can see it's like, all right, so it should be, I don't even know where I'm at. All right, I think this should be the last one. And then these are the ones I just added. So you can see if I'm scrolling really quickly, I just added like infinite. You could put this on another page. You could map through them, so you don't have to put it like multiple times if it's all the same. And then also the cool thing too, one thing I want to show you is the way I have it is where all of these components or these sections are within a data file, to where these are just objects. I have all this custom data that I can pass in. So like for instance, right now the background is false, right? So I have a light BG. So if I want to change this to true and I hit save, it's going to turn white. And then I can change the light text. It says it's currently true. I want it to become false. And then the description, I want that to become false, and save it. And then boom, now you can see the entire thing change. Also like the SVG, if I want to change this to like 2 and I hit save, it goes like this, and now it's a different SVG. And it's that easy and that simple. And that's mainly the main concept of this design I'm going to show you. And also in terms of the like way to do this. And also I did refactor the navbar, so it's much cleaner when I shrink it so that it matches with the width too as well. But that's basically what we're going to work on today. So let me just Command Z all this back to how it was. And then without further ado, let's hop into our code editor and let's get started coding. All right, so here I am on my terminal. So go wherever you need to go to open up your terminal, and basically go ahead and let's type in npx and then space create React app. And then let me call this, let's do React website version 2. And let me just put YT for YouTube, just so I know. You name whatever you want to. And then I'm going to go ahead and press enter. All right, once that finishes up loading, go ahead and cd into the file you just named it. So mine is react-website-v2-yt. And if you, before we do the yarn or npm, I'm gonna type in code and dot to open up VS Code. So if you don't have this installed, just simply Google search how to install or have code dot work. And then basically when you type it on your terminal, it opens up the app. So here we are on VS Code, and we could do is just straight up go to our terminal, but what's probably gonna happen is gonna ask me to add that env file probably. But basically if you have npm, type in npm start, but if you don't and you have yarn, then obviously type in yarn. So whatever your second line says, type that in the terminal and then basically press enter. So it's gonna say this thing for me. If yours doesn't say this, then don't worry about it, you're good to go. But I have to copy this text every time. Right click and let's do a new file. And if you know a way to make that go away, let me know. But right now I'm just gonna do this and then save it. So basically I just created .env file and then type this in, and then I could basically go here and just go and type it again. So yarn start, or you would be npm start, and this will load up the React application. And here we go. All right, so here we got the React spinning logo. So if you made that before, you already know the drill. So let me just resize my screen really quick. All right, so now we got VS Code opened up, and let's just start by cleaning out the SRC. So let's go ahead and click on setup test worker. I'm gonna hold shift and click on all three of these, so logo, service, and setup. Let me get rid of those. Index.css, gotta get out of here. Deletes. App.test, deletes. Let's go, and now I should have 3 files left. And then let's go to index.js. Let's get rid of this stuff here. And then I'm just gonna get rid of strict mode for this video. And then let's do this part. Service worker's gone. The index.css is gone. Command save. And I have the app prettier installed. So if you're wondering like why is this doing this crazy magic where it saves and formats, that's the extension over here, which I'm sure if you've made it this far to React, you probably already heard of it. But if not, just download it. Now go into the app.js and let's go and let's get rid of everything here. And let's do H1, the typical YouTuber coding thing. Let's just say what's up, save, and it's gonna give me error because I didn't get rid of the logo. Save this. All right, now we got it. Perfect. All right, so at that CSS, let's just Command A this, and let's just put these stylings right now because this technically is like our global page. I mean, you could name your own CSS file that, but this is basically it. And let's just set the box sizing to be border box. Let's do margin 0, padding to be 0, and then I got the font family of PT sans and then comma sans serif. So right now that font is right here, so I don't have this imported in my yeah, so it looks like it just automatically worked by default, I guess. But we're actually gonna have to go in Google Fonts later. We'll worry about that later because I think I want the bolder version. But anyways, that's pretty much the setup there. And then let's start ahead and let's create our components folder. So right now let's go to SRC, right click this, and let's do new folder. I'm gonna call this components. And then inside the components, I'm going to want a pages folder. So let's do pages. I messed that up. Must be a folder, not just random. So let's do components, right click, new folder, pages. And then inside of hover back over the components, and then right click that and do new file. And then let's just create, let's do our navbar first. So navbar.js. So this is not inside the pages. There's nothing in pages, just components right now. And then let's do right click again, and let's do navbar.css. And basically in the navbar.js, let's just add in some code. So if you watch the previous tutorial, it's very, very similar. The difference is I refactored it and I added a bunch of other stuff. But before we do, go to your extensions. If you don't have this, just type in React snippets or ES7. It should show right here. This one, DSZ Nadir, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Basically install this snippet, has like 1.6 million when I'm filming this, and it's gonna save your life because basically, here, let me get rid of this real quick. Exit off here. You can type in RFCE and then press enter, and boom, we have everything. Function, export, import. And if you download it and it's like not working, like yo, what's going on? Literally just go, make sure your VS Code is saved, and then just quit it and then restart it basically, and then go back and it should work again. And sometimes it randomly doesn't work even when it's working. It's so weird, but that's what I found. But basically that's how to get it working. And now pretty much here I just want to go ahead and let's just start creating the nav bar. So let's go with the typical, I'm gonna close. Actually, I want to get rid of these and make these fragments. And then inside here I'm just gonna do dot nav bar. Press tab, then press enter. And then if yours isn't auto completing, then check and see if you have the right settings, or just simply Google search how to have, I think it's React Embedded. Pretty much you have to research it if it's not already doing it, but mine automatically auto completes. And then now let's go to dot navbar dash container. And then I'm gonna say dot again, so creating another class called just container, and press tab. And let me command B, like this a little bigger. So now we have this line here. And then let's go and let's create a link. So now we're gonna use React Router. So we're gonna have to install that in the terminal in just a second, but let's just go ahead and type everything out first, and then we can worry about that later. But basically I'm just gonna say link. And ideally, if you've never used the link before, it's basically, replacing the A tag, except it's utilizing React Router instead. And so I'm gonna say link dot navbar dash logo, press tab, and then inside of the link I'm going to just say lavish, which is what I call this site. I didn't even spell that right. How did I do it? Lavish, like this. And then inside of the link, it's gonna have a to path. So instead of href and the A tag, it's gonna say to, so equals /. And again, if you've watched the previous video, it's super similar. There's a lot of little things I refactored though. So just know if you watch the previous website tutorial, then you're like, oh, am I copying this over and over? Well, there's some things I changed. But here, let's go and go under this link tag, and then basically press enter. And then let's do dot menu dash icon. Press tab, and then inside of here is pretty much, we're gonna create a function, and this is the mobile menu. So we're gonna have to install the icons really quick so you can see this. But basically, I'm gonna create a function that, let me actually install it because it's not gonna make sense if you're like just getting started. So let's do Command J, or just open up your terminal VS Code, and then if you have npm, then here's React icons. You would just copy this npm dash React icons, but I have yarn, so I'm gonna just say yarn add, and then just say React dash icons. Press enter, and then mine's gonna load up. And then while this is loading, we can actually install React Router once it gets done too. So let me actually pull it up and show you guys real quick. And here I'm on React Router. So basically, if you have npm, just copy this into your terminal, npm install React Router DOM. I'm just gonna say yarn add, and then I'm gonna say React Router DOM, and then press enter. And once this loads, I'm not too sure how long this one's gonna take, but pretty much what we're gonna do now is we're gonna have to go up to the top of the bar now, up by the import, and let's import the React Router and also the icon. So now let's do imports, and I'm gonna import curly braces. I'm gonna import a link for this one because we're only using link, and then from React Router DOM, and then under here This is, if you've never used React icons, it's super simple, but basically it's similar. You just say import curly braces, and then you want to import whatever icons that you want. So we have quite a bit. So let me just start off with the ones we're going to use. So I'm going to say FA bars, and then I need FA times. And this is utilizing Font Awesome. They're icons, except I don't have to actually download it like Font Awesome. I can just straight up go in here and just type it in myself. So React-icons, and then Font Awesome has a slash of FA. So if you're like, yo, what is going on? Pretty much like here, you can just search React icons. But if I want to type in bars, for instance, it's going to give me a bunch of other, let's see if I can open this, like other icons from other places. So you got like material design, Bootstrap, etc. But here, this is literally what it does. You just copy this, and that's pretty much it. And then you can search whatever icon you want, as long as you import it. And then basically, let me close out my terminal. We can just go down here to the, actually let's import the, I import another one. It's called MD Fingerprint. So let me just update it here really quick. So that's the first one. So I'm going to say import curly braces, capital M, lowercase d, and then just say fingerprint. So this is what I use for the, here, let me just show you really quick. Yeah, so this there's FA fingerprint, but I use this one, MD. So it's a different place where this icon comes from. So you're gonna say from React-icons/MD, and then pretty much we're gonna do this for now. We're good right now. So underneath this link, I'm just gonna say opening tag, and then pretty much just say MD. So whatever the icon you imported. So I'm gonna say fingerprint, and then I'm gonna say class name to be equal to navbar icon. So I misspelled, that should be navbar dash icon, and then basically close it out with a slash. And then we save this. Actually, no, when I save this, probably, let's see if it loads up. That's not the same one. All right, save this. Nothing is going to show up because we are currently not importing the navbar into the app. So let's go back to app, and let's just straight up say navbar, and then this is a shortcut. If you just press enter, it automatically imports it. If that's not working for you, do control space. It should pop up there. Press enter, boom, and then close it out, save it, and let's see what's happening. Go back to navbar. It's saying link in router. So pretty much what I have to do now is wrap this with router, because router does not like this when you do this. So what I have to do is pretty much just get rid of this div, and then just say router, and those are the same, or it automatically autofilled for me. But pretty much I'm gonna have to click on the end of the router, control space, press enter, and it automatically imports it. If it didn't, well, just type that line there, and let's save this, and let's see if it loads up this time. And now it's gonna say location of undefined. So right now it's saying router.js. So it looks like I'm gonna have to go under the navbar, because I have the path to a slash, so I'm gonna have to actually create that. So let's just go here and just do switch, and then let's just create a route. So this is essentially wherever the you click it is going to open up that. So let's see if I need the component for right now. Right now it's gonna say no, so I have to import from router. I'm gonna say, actually this should say browser router as router. Browser router space as router, and then let's do switch, and then let's do route, save it, and boom, now we got it going. So now you can see if I zoom in, it automatically imported this icon without doing anything but doing the terminal install. So that's pretty cool there. So let's go back to the navbar, and now what I want to do is actually, let me write out this code for you so it makes sense, and then we can actually add that stuff later. So let me command B, under the menu icon, so we're inside this div, we're gonna do curly braces now. So we're gonna add some JavaScript. So pretty much I'm gonna use state, and I'm gonna create a click So basically, if I click, and this is going to be the hamburger menu and then the X. So whatever when you saw over here, this thing right here, this is what we're about to create, is just this section. So I'm gonna say use a ternary operator, so it's like if else, but it's short, pretty much shorter code. So question mark, and then if you click it, it's true. I want to display this icon right here, and if it's not, basically replay the FA bars. And then I save this, and nothing is gonna compile because it's saying click is not here. So let me zoom this back to normal. So it's gonna say click is not defined. So what we need to do now is add state. So if you've done hooks before, you know, use state, pretty basic, but pretty much function nav bar. Underneath it, I'm gonna just say const, and then the brackets and say click, and then I want to be able to set the value to, so I'm gonna say set click, and then we're gonna set this equal to use state, and I want the initial value to be false. That way it's showcasing the bars, aka the hamburger menu. And then what we need to do now is create a function that whenever I click on it, it's going to actually display it. So I'm just call this handle click, and then I'm gonna set this equal to an arrow function, and pretty much I'm just gonna set the click to the opposite value of click. So it's almost like it's toggling it. And then all you need to do is go to the div where you have the menu icon, and then just say on click, I want it to equal curly braces, and it's pretty much going to be whatever you name the function, which we have here called handle click. Now we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is go up to React, up here, import React, do a comma, curly brace, and just say use state, and then we save it, and boom. So now if I click it, let me see what's going on. Zoom in. Let's I'm gonna do Command Shift C. Let me check my console. And why in the world is it not? All right, so I realized that's why I'm going crazy, is because this automatically self-closed, so it shouldn't be like that. This should be wrapped around a div, so I'm closing div. And now if I save it, let me try it again. All right, now I'm going crazy. Now, never mind. We're good now. So basically, make sure that this is its own div. Little minor mistake, but if you had it right, you didn't typo like me, yours should look like this. All right, perfect. All right, so now let's move on to the actual menu. So let's go and do UL now. So we're creating our list items. So basically, here's gonna be a little tricky because we don't have the CSS yet, but let's say UL, and let's just press tab. So inside the UL, I wanna create the LIs. Before I do that, let me add a class. So I'm gonna say class name. And it's gonna say equal to curly braces. It's gonna be click again. And if click is true, I wanna toggle nav dash menu active. So this essentially will be a CSS class that shows the actual CSS menu whenever we click it. And if that's not true, I want nav dash menu. And let me zoom this a little, it's hard to see. So inside now, we're inside the UL. I'm gonna say li now, and then I'm gonna say dot nav dash item, and then press tab. So now we have this li created, and then inside the li, I'm gonna put the link tag. I'm gonna say link, and then I can press, or I'm gonna say dot nav dash links, press tab. So now we have this, and then inside of the link, I just want to put the word home. And then for the path, I just want to set equals, so 2 equals quotes slash. And then let's see, save this really quick, and let's see what we got for now. Perfect. All right, so we got the home going, and then we pretty much can copy and paste this. So let's just go and copy and paste that to save some time. So go and just the LIs with the link, and then go underneath the li here, paste, and then we can update this to say services here, services there, class names are still the same, And then let's go under here again. So let's save this really quick. Perfect. Make that caps 1 sec. And then let me tab in here, paste this again. This is going to be just products. So products / products, and then underneath there, this is where we're gonna create a button component. So my previous video, I had it where it's an LI and I made like a custom CSS, but this time I actually refactored it to where it's pretty much the component now. So basically, let's just write this out one by one so it makes sense, because there's a lot of code here. But I'm gonna say li dot nav-btn, and then inside of this li, I'm gonna put some JavaScript code here, so curly braces, and then we're gonna create another stay with button, and pretty much we're gonna say button. Let me go up really quick, and then do ternary, so the question mark, and if button is true, I'm gonna put parentheses, and then let me press enter. You can see this. Then I'm gonna say link dot btn dash link, and then let me press tab. So now we have this link created, and then inside of this we're gonna put our button component, which we haven't created yet, but we will eventually. So I'm gonna say button capitalize, and then press tab, and then inside I'm just gonna say sign up. Now here we're going to add a style to it, and then you'll see where this makes sense eventually. So button style, it's equal to btn dash dash outline. So this is kind of like a class, but we're gonna add essentially classes onto the button component to where we can just put this on anywhere on our web page that it'll showcase that specific style. So this is the one I have for this section. And then go outside of the parentheses, but we're still inside the blue curly brace. Do a colon, and then do the parentheses this time. So basically, if it's not true, I want to display link dot btn dash link, so that same class, and then press enter, and then this time I'm going to say button, so capitalize, tab it, and then we're going to say sign up, except on this one we're going to add a button style of btn dash dash outline. And let me say this so it like goes on another page really quick. So go underneath, we're still inside this button, and then we're going to say button size equal to btn dash dash mobile. So this is a mobile version, so that it expands the width of the actual page. And then let's just save this really quick, and you're gonna have a bunch of errors, but basically have these two in here. And then for we have another function. Oh, I actually have to add the 2. So go back to your top link, say 2 equals quotes / sign dash up, and then if I enter there, I put the wrong, hold up, we put the single quotes, and then just copy this 2 path, because it's the same exact thing on the other link, and save this. So right now you're probably confused what's going on, but basically we have to create a button component, which we have not, and then we're gonna have to create state 2. So pretty much it's going to showcase the button on the desktop, but then once we shrink the screen, it's gonna change it out basically, and you'll see that in just a second. But let's go ahead and create this button component while we're here. So src new file button.js, and then we're gonna do new file here and just say button.css. So in the button.js, if you follow the previous tutorial, then you already know, but I did add an additional code to it, so it's not the exact same. But basically, you can type in imr if you have the snippets, import React from React, and then also import /button.css. So now underneath this, I'm going to say const styles equal to, and what we're doing here is we're essentially setting classes that we can apply, and styles and colors, whatever you want to call it, to the button, to where it doesn't matter where it is on the page, we can pretty much update it without having to go into the CSS and add custom classes. So btn primary, and then we're gonna do btn outline. So in case you're like, what's going on? Basically, like this one, it's doesn't have an outline, but then if I scroll it out, like this has BTN outline class applied to it. This one doesn't. So let's go back here, and then underneath this, we're gonna say const sizes, so that equal to BTN dash dash medium. So that's medium size. I mean, these are just preferences, but BTN dash dash large, and let's do BTN dash dash mobile. So this is a new feature I've added. And then also we can do BTN dash dash wide. So some of the stuff you might not use, but it's just showing you like how you can utilize it. And then the last thing I added is new one, color. And you can play around with this. This is just a starter to show you like what I did. But feel free to go, have fun with this. This is just like showing you what you can do in some alternative ways. But like red and then green. I was testing out a bunch of stuff. Now pretty much now we have to export this button. So let's do export const button. I'm gonna set that equal to parentheses and then curly braces. And then inside here we have to pass in all of our values that we're going to eventually target. So for now I'm gonna say children is 1. The type is 2. On click is the 3rd one. Button style. So let me say this, see if it stays there. And then we have button size. And then button color. So now I save it, it automatically drops my line. And then outside of actually this should have been a parenthesis, so make sure you put that back. And then I'm gonna say equals to, so it's arrow function, and then curly braces here. Now inside these curly braces, what we're gonna do is going to return the actual value we want. So we're gonna say return a button with the class name. So let's put inside the button first. And now inside of the button, I want to pass in the children. So basically children meaning whatever words or letters we put inside. So like this would be like sign up or, get started, like here. Basically these words, that's the children that we're passing in. So whatever you put, it will update accordingly. And now go inside of the button now. And let's add a class name equal to curly braces, and then put the backticks so it's at the top left next to the number 1 on your keyboard. Say BTN and then $, curly braces, check button style. So we're gonna actually add these eventually. I'll show you in a second. But this is the way you can make it to where it's pretty much you can update this button properties wherever you want. So then check button size, the next one. And then dollars, let's see, yeah, $, again, curly brace, check button color. And then outside of this double curly brace here, we're still inside the button. I'm gonna add on click equals to on click, and then just say type equal to type. So now we're not done yet. Go above the return, but inside that curly brace. And then now we have to create these essentially functions to showcase the specific style we want. So I'm gonna say const check buttons style, which is what we named it right here. I'm gonna set this equal to styles, which is what we have up here. And then I'm gonna say dot includes button style, which is the value we passed over here. So basically what's happening is going to see if the button that we created has a button style. And if it is, we're gonna use a ternary operator. So question mark. If it's true, we have a specific style we added, then we just want to make sure that it uses that specific style. So I'm just type in button style. Now, if there is no style and you just type the regular button with nothing, no styling added to it, we're just gonna say set this equal to styles of the array of 0, aka the first position in our styles array, which is button primary. So basically, in short, this code's saying if you set a specific style, like I want it to be button outline, then it'll be button outline. But if nothing's there, just you straight up put a button with no styling anywhere, it automatically defaults back to the primary style, which is the non-outline version right here. And then this is pretty much the same for the rest of the two. So let's just copy this and then change this from check button style to change check button size. Go here, same thing, button size, and then do button size here. And then we just change this one to sizes. And now you can see everything fills out here, and then rinse and repeat one more time. Check button, let's do color button, color here, button, color here, and then last one would be to be color. And now I can save this, and then I can go into button CSS, and let me show you how I added these classes. So basically the root file, which is going to be our primary, so I'm going to say -- primary color, it's just going to be a standard white. I just have it there just in case I want to easily update the primary code. I can do that. So let's say .btn. Let's add padding of 8 pixels by 20 pixels. Border - radius to be 4 pixels. Outline will be none. Border will be none. Cursor pointer, and then white space to be no wrap. So that's the standard on all the button classes are going to have it. And the btn - primary is basically going to say background color equal to var of -- primary, which is the white that we set above. Then we have color, which equals to #242424, which is the like darkish black color. And then I want it to be a border of 1 pixel solid var -- primary. And then btn outline, so .btn - outline, it's equal to background - color. And I want it to be transparent so that there's no background. Color to be #FFF. Padding to be 8 pixels by 20 pixels. And then border 1 pixel solid. I should just copy this link here. And let's do transition to be all 0.3s ease - out. And then the next step is the sizing. So this is when we add the sizing classes. So basically it's going to say .btn - medium padding equal to 8 pixels by 20 pixels. And then font size is going to be 18 pixels. And then we're going to do .btn - large. And it's going to say a higher padding. So padding to be 12 pixels by 26 pixels, and then font size to be 20 pixels. And then we have BTN mode, which is a new one I added that wasn't part of the previous tutorial, I believe. And basically this is a different style. So basically text align, center, and this only will apply on the mobile. So border radius 4 pixels. I want the width to span 80%. And then let's do text decoration to be none. Let's do font size to be 1.5 rem. 1 rem is equivalent to essentially 16. So we could just say this to be like 24 pixels, same thing. And then let's do background - color to be transparent. Let's do color to be #FFF. Padding to be 14 pixels by 20 pixels. Border to be 1 pixel solid #FFF. And then last thing would be transition all 0.3s ease - out. And then the additional ones, so this is btn wide. I just added this one. Basically it's just btn -y just to add additional sizes. So padding will be 12 pixels by 64 pixels. Font size will be 20 pixels. These are the hover effects I use. So I did btn -- large colon hover, and then .btn -- medium colon hover, and then .btn -- mobile colon hover. And basically you can play around with this code, but it just, whenever you hover over these specific sizes, you'll get a specific outlook. So this one, 0.3s ease -out. Let's do background to be #FFF, and then color to be #242424. And let's do .btn -- wide colon hover. So there's a different style I have for this one. Color is going to be white. Background color is going to be #F00946. So like a reddish looking. And then transition to be 0.2 seconds ease -out. And we can put all in the front of this. Semicolon, save that. And then these last ones here, so these are basically the colors. So we can do one more btn -link, so btn -link. And I think I added this on the actually I think we should be good. Yeah, we should be fine without this link. Yeah. So let's just do .blue, and basically this is gonna make the background color of the button to #276 AFB. I want the color of it to be white, and then border, I don't want it to have a border, so border to be none. And let me just copy and paste this. Oh, what happened? Command C, 2, 3, and then 4. So instead of here, I want to say this to be red. Change this color to F00946. Keep those the same. Let's change this one to green. Yeah, let's see. Actually, let's do primary. Primary background color is going to be 242424. And then we can have, let's do underneath this one before we target the last one. Primary hover. I want it to be, let me just copy this really quick. Background color to be FFF. And then the color of the text to be 242424. And then the last one is green. And you can play around with this, but basically this is just additional color I added. But you can add up to whatever you want and name it whatever you want. And that's here. And then if you want to do like .green hover, change the background color to like .green colon hover. You can just say that here too. And this is pretty much completes the button component. I know it's a bunch of CSS, but I just want to show you like what's the purpose of all the stuff we have here and like these classes. And then now when I go back to our nav bar, it's currently saying that button is not defined. So let's go and actually import that. So if we already have button here, I can just go to the button end of it. On this is on like 41 for me, but basically anywhere you have button, control space, press enter. And then now we have it import. If not, just type this line here, save it. And now it's saying right here, let's see, it's saying button is not defined on navbar.js in line 40. So let's check 40. Button. So now what we need to do here is add some state. So basically go back to the top, same concept, create const, and I'm going to say button, comma. Now we got to set the button to something. So let's say equal to use state. And let's set the value to true. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another function underneath this one. So we're going to do two different functions, but let's just add this one for now. This is pretty much to close the mobile menu, which will be whenever you click on, like, let me show you really quick. It's like whenever you click something, it basically turns it off basically. So you don't have it there. So we'll just add this one here for now. Just say const close mobile menu equal to parentheses set click to be false. And we're going to implement that in a second, but for now, let's do the show button section now. So this function essentially will, if you see here, show the button depending on what screen size you are on, and then boom, basically like that. So here I'm going to say const show button equal to arrow function, and then here we're going to say if the window dot inner width is less than or equal to 960, which is in pixels basically, which is the breaking point I put, I'm going to set the button value to be false, so the opposite of what it's currently at. Else I want to set the button to true. And then outside of the show button, we're going to have to actually call the function so that it actually works. So let's say window.add event listener. I'm going to say resize. So basically when I resize the screen, I want to trigger the show button function we created up here. And now it's going to say can't resolve button.css. And what's going on here? So let's command B, let's go back to our button.js. Let's import that. It's imported. Oh, it's because I have it on the pages. So let's drag this out to here. So why is it? Wait, is it on the pages? Hold on. Button not found cannot resolve dot button slash CSS. All right, let me see really quick what's going on. Oh, it's in the component. All right, so yeah, the button.js should be in the components folder. So now let me see. So now let me go back to navbar. So let me check. Yeah, I have it over there. So what's probably gonna happen is I have to re-import this. So let's go back down to our button. And then I'm just gonna command space it, enter, save it now. All right, so basically what you need to do is just change it because it was in the wrong path. So make sure yours has this. And now we have it like this. So pretty much right now, nothing's going to show because we don't have the navbar CSS. And I don't want to bore you again like last time where we spent like a year typing out the CSS code. So I'm just going to copy in my code here. And then I'm going to show you where you can get access to this code. So let's just say save this. And when I save it, it's going to show up. So let me actually import really quick. And then I'm going to show you how to get this code in case you're like, yo, what's happening? So let's just import really quick. And then I'll show you where I got the code. All right, so let me save it just to make sure everything's working. All right, yeah. So everything's working. All right, so the only difference is the, yeah, we have to add that. But now if you want to get the code, I'll include the GitHub in the bio below. So just go down to the GitHub and then you can have access to that code. So here's the GitHub, and this is the starter file too. So if you wanted the images, just go over here and then download the zip file, and you'll have all the images that we have basically. So actually, let's do that first, and then we can actually copy the what's it called, the navbar CSS. So just go ahead and go to code and download the zip file. And I already have my images open. So what I'm gonna do is actually, let me drag it over to VS Code real quick, and then I can show you what's going to go on. So I'm just going to drag my images folder over to the public, and then just copy the folder. Now we got images, and then now let me show you how you got the actual navbar CSS code now. So just go into starter branch and change it to master. And then once this decides to load up, I'll show you exactly what to do. Go to the SRC, click on components, go into navbar.css, click on raw, and then just go and type command A, or basically copy all of this, and then command C, and then let me close this out, and then go to the navbar CS and then copy in this code. And if you want to look at the code, feel free, but basically I added some different code to it to where it's much cleaner when you actually resize it. But right now you can see this is what everything is looking like right here, right? And this is not what we want to happen. So let's go to navbar.js, and we're going to utilize something that this is like I guess you can say like the easiest way to see, but basically, let me see if I can show you. Because right now, all right, so this is the first thing I want to do is actually change the button color, because you can't see what's going on. So let's go down to our button. All right, and I want to have, let me see. So it looks like it's not, let me see if I'm missing something. BTN link, that's the one thing I forgot. Actually, let's go back to button.css. I thought I didn't need that class, but it looks like we need it. So go here and actually just go at the bottom, I guess you could go, and add the class btn-link, curly braces, and let's say display to be flex, justify content center, align item center, text decoration none, and let's do padding of 8 pixels by 16 pixels, height 100%, and then width 100%. Alright, so let's see right now. Haven't changed anything yet, but you'll see what that does in a second. But let's go back to navbar.js, and basically let me see why the current BTN, did I misspell the outline? Let me just make sure. That could have been a super basic mistake. Yeah, color primary should be there. Yeah, so let's check my console right now, see why in the world it's not working. Command Shift J or Command Shift C. Let's open this wider, and let me hover over the BTN, and it's saying right now BTN is adding primary to it. So why is it doing that? So right now I have BTN outline, but it's adding this random primary class that I don't need. So let's go back to JS, and let's see what happened here. Also, this is the mistake. I should have the button color. It shouldn't target color. It should be null, because that's what's messing up my stuff. So now, if I go now, there we go, perfect. All right, so now it looks how it should look. All right, so that's perfect now. So a quick little debugging, and that's what it looks like right here. All right, so now let's Command B this back. Let's go to navbar.js, and then what I want to do is actually I want to show you what happens, right? So right now, this whole show button function we just created with the resize button, when you resize it, you see how it disappears. And you can't really see the icon right now because it's dark, but eventually I'll show you how to change it. But right now I'll show you, we'll stay on this for a second. Right now it showcases like this, but what happens when I refresh the page, you can't see it actually. So let me see, refresh the page. So right now when I refresh the page, it's currently not doing what it did beforehand. So I guess, I'm not sure if React had some updates, but beforehand what happened, basically it kept re-rendering. But instead, let's just add this in case you do have this issue. But my previous tutorial I showcased it basically. But basically we're going to use effect so that it only renders one time. I'm going to pass in the parentheses, and then I'm just going to have show button, call it here, and then pass in the empty array. And then we just got to go to the top and import use effect. So it might be that, or it's probably because my colors, you can't even see it. 1 second. That could be a possible issue too, but we'll go back and let's change the icon colors for right now, and then we'll actually implement this close mode menu button as well. But right now I want to show you how to actually change the icon colors using Context API. So essentially, in short, that we're going to be able to pass data to pretty much everything that's wrapped around the provider. So if you haven't used Context API before, it's like a short, easy way to say you can pass in properties pretty much anywhere as long as you have it wrapped around. So what we're going to do is go to the top, say import icon context from react-icon/lib. All right, where do I go? All right, yeah. And what we're going to do now is we have to wrap the entire application with this. So I'm going to go here and say icon context dot provider set this value equal to double curly braces color colon and then FFF for white. And then what we're gonna need to do is close this out, and then what's gonna happen is it's gonna showcase the closing tag. So Command X this and then drop it all the way to the bottom of your last div and basically paste it in there. And when we see this, what happened is we basically add this, essentially think of it as like a global style where it's one color white. So now it's white here, and I change it like this. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you can see that right there. And now let's go and update this mobile menu function we have here. So basically, close mobile menu. I want to add this to our link here. So this first link, inside of the tag, say on click equal to close mobile menu. So this is the nav bar link with the lavish here. And then I'm gonna do is actually let me save it really quick just to show you what happens. So like if I click here, then I click on this, see how nothing happens? Like nothing closes it, right? It's just there. But then when I click on the lavish icon we just added the function close mobile menu to, see how it changes the state and basically closes it out for us, which is pretty cool. And you wouldn't notice that unless you actually have that there. So now all we need to do is add this to the rest of the links. So for instance, I want to add this to, let's see, where's it at? The home link, the services link, and the products link, and then also on the button link. So if I save this now, we can test it out. Bada bing, do it there, right there, and then last but not least, it looks like the sign up isn't doing it. So let me see if I add it in the right place. Yeah, I added in the wrong spot, my bad. It should be on the second one. This second link, the basically the one after the colon. So save it. So now your code should look like this. And now if I check it, it should do it there. Awesome, awesome, perfect. So now that's everything's working here. So let me just scroll up, and there's another, let's see. Yeah, this is the class with the active part, we have that there. So this basically, this right line right here, when I click, it showcases it and then goes back like that. And everything's looking good here. There's just, let me see, there's one little thing I want to update really quick. So let me check my BTN CSS just to make sure, because it looks like right now my styling isn't applying to my button properly. So I want to make sure I have everything set up to where it actually should be there. So let's see, button style, button size, and let's check the there. Button style, button size, button color. All right, so I realized the one issue why it's not working is I forgot to change this to say color, and then this one needs to say sizes. All right, so a little typo, but that's part of development. And now, boom, okay, now it looks perfect here, and then looks perfect here. Let me just scroll this out really quick. So pretty much here's a nav bar, basically done with this, and then that's basically it. So now let's start creating the actual home section component. You can call it like the hero section, but technically it's more than that because we're using it on other parts of the page. But let's go ahead and create the hero section. So let me go over to our components, right click this, hit new file, and let's just say hero section.js. Now you can call this whatever you want to, but I mean I'll just stick with this for now. And then say hero section.css. And let's go over to hero section.js, and let's do RFCE and then press enter. Now let's go inside this div, and then let's get rid of this. So let's add our JSX in here. So let's start off with, actually let's import our button component first. So import button from ./button, and then let's import our link from React Router DOM. So import link from React Router DOM, and then let's import the CSS2. So imports quotes dot slash hero section dot CSS. All right, let me say that really quick, and then let's go inside of this fragment. And then basically I want to, should be parentheses, so should be like this. And then I want to make a div. So I'm gonna say div, and then I have a custom class name. So basically you'll see a lot of this is using the data file, which we'll end up making eventually, but basically actually on this, yeah, so I want to say class name, I'm going to set it equal to curly braces, and then what's going to be is if this has a light background, so light BG, I'm using ternary operators. And why is this? I have no idea how to get rid of this. Hopefully you can see what I'm saying. So light BG ternary operator, I'm going to set this equal to the class of home underscore underscore hero dash section, which will add our CSS eventually. And if that's true, else I want to toggle the home underscore underscore hero dash section and then space dark BG. Let me save this really quick. Actually, let me put this on a second line here. And then let me close this out and then have that div here. So for now, let me just put test for now. And let me explain what happened. So pretty much, we're gonna add our custom CSS, and I'm gonna go through it with you the first section just because I don't think there's many tutorials where people show how they created this sort of setup. If you don't care, then you can just copy the code, but I'm gonna go through it for this video. And basically, we're gonna add, actually, let's add this up here so it makes sense. So let's go in a hero section. Let's add our curly braces. And then these are all the properties that we're gonna pass into the component. So that way we can pretty much copy and paste it all across the website and just update the values on the data file whenever you like. So here I want to add in light background, so light BG. So if it's light is true, I want it to be whites or whatever, like light white. And then if not, I want it to be the darkish black we had. And then I'm gonna have top line, which is going to be that little heading we have. And then I'm gonna say light text. And then we're gonna have light capital T text DESC description. And then we have headline. And then we're gonna have description of whatever we put in here. And then let's see, we're gonna have button label. And then also the image, the alt tag, and then image start. So the image start is basically this, whether it's on the left or the right side. And all those properties you just added are all of this characteristics here. So whatever the word here says, whatever these say, etc. So let me go over here and let's start editing the actual JSX, and then afterwards we'll create the CSS. So right here inside this div, I'm going to create a container. So I'm going to say dot container, press tab, and then press enter. Now within this container, I'm going to say dot row dot home underscore underscore hero dash row, press tab. Now this is the current class name for this. Now within this actual thing right here, I'm gonna add a style. So I technically could have let's just add this in really for now, just because it's just so much easier in terms of the tutorial sake. You can go back and refactor this into a class, but I just want to show you the concept, what I did. This is another alternative, but this isn't essentially best practices, but let me just show you the concept. So pretty much here, I put an inline style here saying display flex, and then we can actually go later at the end and update this if we want to. Let's say flex direction, and this is pretty much saying image start, and if it's equal to start, then I'm gonna say I want to toggle. All right, what happened? Hold up. All right, let me go back. Command B. And so basically, if image that start is saying equal to start, I want to toggle the flex to be row reverse, which essentially it switches the positioning of the image. Else I want it to be row. So that's the one I have here. And then let's go outside this div. And this basically allows it to where the image, again, like I said earlier, it switches the positioning. So it's either going to start, meaning this is starting, and then it's not starting. And then inside of this div here, what we're going to do is say .call. So this might get a little crazy because it's like there's so many different divs in here, but just bear with it. And then inside of this div, I'm going to have the wrapping for the text. So .home __ hero -text -wrapper, press tab. And then here I'm going to have .top -line. So that was the thing you saw above earlier, which is what we have here, top line. And basically I'm going to pass in curly braces and say top line. So now we have that here. So now it highlights it. And then outside this div, I'm going to say h1. And then I'm going to press tab because I want to add in, inside this h1, I'm going to say headline. So there's curly braces here. So now you can see we have this one. Now inside the h1, I want to add the class name. I'm going to set this equal to curly braces. And then we're going to say if light text is true, then just have the class heading. Else colon, so that I will have heading dark. And now if you're trying to get the pattern, basically we're just doing ternaries for all of these. So I'm going to say P now, press tab. And then inside the P tag, I'm going to say description, curly braces. And now in the P, I want to add the class name equals to curly braces. And then we're going to say light text description, so DESC for short. And if that one is true, I want to toggle home __ hero -subtitle. Else I'm going to toggle home __ hero -subtitle space dark. So that essentially changes it from light to dark text. Now under the P tag, we're going to add our first link tag. So this is going to say link. And then in the link, I want to make the to path equals to just sign -up. Now in here, I'm going to create the button component now. So button, press tab. Now inside the button, I want this to be button label. So now you can see we have majority of everything highlighted. We're just missing the image and the alt, so we'll add that eventually. So I'll go for the button, and I want to add a button size, which you remember from our button component. I want this to be btn -- wide, and then have button color equals to, I want to make this blue. So now save this. Nothing's gonna happen because we haven't imported anywhere, but let's just keep it open for now. So now outside of the link tag, we're almost done actually. Let me make sure I have everything properly set. So we have another div here. So this is the text wrapper, and then we have the column, and then now outside of that, I'm gonna create another column. So just make sure you're under link. There's two divs here, so that's the call up here. So underneath that second one, I'm going to say .call again. Now inside this div, I'm going to say .home __ hero -img -wrapper. Press tab, and then inside here, this is where we're going to pass in our image. So I'm going to say img .home __ hero -image. Self-closing. And then for the SRC, I want it to be just SRC curly braces, and then for the alt, I just want it to be alt. So now if I save this, we should have everything here filled out. And actually for SRC, I put image, my bad, so change this to image. Doesn't really matter as long as you have it in this position. And it looks like we have our hero section pretty much done. So now we need to actually add the CSS so that you can see what's going on. But before I do that, I want to create the data file, because if I don't, you're just not going to be able to see everything. So pretty much let's go and go over to pages, right click this, and then click on new folder. And then let's call this folder home page. Now inside the pages folder, we have the home page folder. And then I want to right click home page folder. And then I want to say data.js. And then also I want to right click this and say home.js. So right now in the home, I want to essentially do the RFCE, and then I want to return, so let's put the fragments here. Let's see. I want to showcase the hero section, and then let's just do the first, and I'm gonna say pass in, so I'm gonna say spreading all the data, so home obj1, and then close it out. And then let's go to the hero section, control space, so it imports automatically. And then I'm going to import curly braces, the home obj1, which I'll show you what we're about to create in just a second, from quotes dot slash data. So this is essentially going to be the object with all of the properties we're going to pass in on data. So let's go to data now, and then just say exports const home obj1 equals to, so that's just short for object one. And then let's go in and fill in all the properties that we just created. So let's say light bg. I want to set this value to false, so I want it to be a dark background. I want the light text to be true, so I want to have a light text. I want the light text description, I want that to be true, so meaning I want the light text description. For the top line, which was our top heading, I want this to be exclusive access. And then for the headline, I want this to say unlimited transactions with 0 fees. And then under that, I'm going to say description. And then I'm going to say get access to our exclusive diamond card that allows you to send unlimited transactions without getting charged any fees. If you're probably wondering where did I get this copy, I just made it up myself. And then let's see, button label, let's just call it get started. So that's what I want the button to say. Then I want the image starts to be an empty string because I don't want it to be starting. I want the text first. I want the image to be, if you imported it from the GitHub, it should be images slash svg-1.svg. And then I have alts, basically have credit card. Now I save this here, and then I go to home, and then I save home here, and then I'm gonna go to app, and then I want to pass in exact and say components equals to home, and then I just need to import home. So let's just say imports home from, and it's going to be quotes dot slash components folder. Then I got to go into the pages folder. Then I got to target home page folder, and then I got to target home. So now if I click here on the, I was on a different slash, so basically make sure you're on the normal slash here. If you go over, now you can see this is what everything looks like. So basically the object, the data that we just passed in is all of this stuff showing on the screen. So right now you can see the light background. If I were to change this to true, it basically, let me see if it makes sense. it's not going to show anything actually because there's no CSS. Let's actually change this to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Now you can see I have the number up here. So this is literally what we just added minus the CSS. So let's just go and add the CSS now and then show you guys actually how I made this too, since I don't think there's many tutorials showing how to make this design, at least that I've seen. Let's go to hero section CSS now. And let's have some fun with this section. So this one's not too big, but let's just target, let's see, .home __ hero dash section. Let's set the color to white and then the padding to 160 pixels by 0. So let's actually make this smaller. Command B. Yeah, make it a little smaller, just so you can see a little bit what's going on. And next I'm gonna target home __ hero dash row. I'm gonna say align items to be center. And then let's do dot row. I'm gonna say display flex margin dash right to be minus 15 pixels. Margin dash bottom to be minus 15 pixels. Margin dash left to be minus 15 pixels. And then it looks like I misspelled this here. And then let's say flex dash wrap to be wrap here, and line content say stretch. And actually, let me comment this out for right now because you can't really see what's going on. Here we go. And then let's do dot col, so the columns. I want this to be margin dash bottom to be 15 pixels. Padding dash right to be 15 pixels. Padding dash left to be 15 pixels. And then let's do flex to be 1. Max width to be 50%. And flex basis to be 50%. So now we got a little movement going on. And I know the little shortcut, if you just did padding 0, 15, you can also do that as well. But I did it so you can actually see like what design as far as like CSS is actually happening. And now let's do dot home __ hero dash text dash wrapper. And let's set a max width to be 540 pixels. I want the padding on the top to be 0, and then the padding on the bottom to be 60 pixels. And then let's go under this text wrapper and let's say top line. So this is the exclusive access text. I'm gonna say color, set this equal to red, F00946, font size to be 16 pixels, line height, I want this to be 16 pixels. Let's say font weights to be 700, letter spacing, I want it to be 1.4 pixels. Let's do text dash transform. I want that to say uppercase, and then margin dash bottom to be 16 pixels. So now you can see we have some styling on the top line. I call it top line, you can literally call it whatever you want to. And then say dot heading now. Set margin bottom to be 24 pixels. Font size to be 48 pixels. Line height, I want that to be 1.1. Font weight, I want it to be 600. And then the color, I want it to be hashtag F7, F8, FA. And right now you're like, yo, what is going on? So right now this is actually, let me see. I have dot dark now, and then we're gonna have color. I want this to be hashtag 1C2237. And then I'm gonna have a dot dark BG. This is going to say background dash color. I want that to say hashtag 1C2237. So now you can see the actual color text now. And then let me uncomment this up here now so you can see what's happening. So there we go here. And then under the dark background, I want to have the subtitle, so dot home __ hero dash subtitle, max width to be 440 pixels, margin dash bottom to be 35 pixels, font size, I want that to say 18 pixels, and then line height, I want it to say 24 pixels. So now we got a little bit nicer looking here. Now let's do dot home __ hero dash image dash wrapper, and let's say the max width to be 555 pixels. And then let's do dot home __ hero dash image. Let's say max width to be 95%. Margin dash top to be 0. And let's do margin dash right to be 0 as well. And then margin dash left to be 10 pixels. And then padding dash right to be 0. So now we got the nice clean looking image. And this also could just be margin and top first one, and then it's right, and then bottom. So essentially there's no bottom right now. So you could just say 0 here, and then left would be 10 pixels. And they would essentially do the same thing. So nothing happened here. So yeah. And then let's do image now. So just say img. I'm gonna say border to be 0. Max width, I want it to be 100%. Vertical line, just say middle. And then display inline dash block. Just keep it there. And now let's target the media queries now. So at media screen and say max dash width to be 991 pixels. And again, this is going to be dependent on your container and your breakpoint. But let's say I want the padding dash right to be 30 pixels and the padding dash left to be 30 pixels. So it's technically in the mobile screen right now. And then let's just copy this again. So let me go under. Let's change the width to 768 pixels. Where's that here? Let's change this class to home __ hero dash text dash wrapper. And let's just do a padding, so erase most of this, dash bottom to be 65 pixels. And then I want the dot call to say max dash width of 100%, and then flex basis to be 100%. So right now, if I zoom this out, this is what our current site looks like. Nothing else is here. And then I zoom in. Let me drag this out here. You can see it. And you can see this is what it currently looks like. So nice, mobile looking, and we're pretty much good on the CSS and the HTML. I mean, CSS and the JSX for this one. So now let's go back to home page. Let's go to data, and let's just add some more. Now I'm just gonna try to copy my alternative ones in my code. So you can go ahead and go to the GitHub and copy this too if you want to, or you could just straight up copy and paste actually let me see, export here. So again, just go to the GitHub and go to the homepage data folder, and then just get the data file here. You can copy this into your thing, or you can just copy the what you already have here and just customize it yourself. So I'm gonna save this now, and then all I'm gonna do here is just straight up copy and paste this down. So I have 4 now, and then I'm gonna say 2, and let me see if I so let's start with 3 actually. So I want to say 3 here, and then 2, and then let's do 4. So now I just gotta copy these into the top. So copy it here. Let me just copy that and change that to 2, and then just copy this one here, and let's just do 3. Save that now, and when I scroll, you can see we just pretty much created like probably 80% of the site just there, just from straight up component. Don't have to do anything, and you can see the hover effects, nice and clean. So I want to add the pricing and then also the footer. So let's go over here, and let me just add the footer in for now, because I've already made a whole like step-by-step tutorial with the footer. So for this sake, I'm just gonna copy CSS and the here, let me show you really quick. So just create a new file, or let's do new folder in the pages, and just say footer dot, just say footer, and then right click and say new file. I'm going to just say footer.js, and then also a new file, footer.css. So I could go in here one by one and type in every single thing, but I've already done that in my previous tutorial, and it's literally going to take like probably 30 minutes for me to do that again. So if you really want me to show you exactly how I did it step by step, then I'll link the previous website so you can show me or see me doing it exactly code by code or line by line. But for this sake, for this video, the main focus was this like component section, so I want to show you that. So instead, just go to the GitHub and basically copy this footer. So let me show you really quick in case you're lost. So just go back to the GitHub link, go to the master file, and then go to src, go to components, go to pages, go to footer, then go to footer.js, and then click on raw, and then Command A, Command C this, and then go in the code. Now I'm going to talk about the code really quick and just paste this in. So if you want to see again, like I said, the entire like code line by line I did in my previous tutorial, so I'll just save you guys some time in case you're watching this as the part 2. So the main difference here from part 1 or the previous design was that I imported React icons, and basically instead of using Font Awesome, I just have them here. So I imported Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then I also imported the logo here. And then the same stuff, still the exact same as the previous video. So all the footer stuff is the exact same. So if this is your first tutorial you're watching, then definitely go back to that if you want to see me code this out line by line, so it makes more sense. But basically that's the JSX there. And then when we go to the CSS, it's basically the same exact stuff too. So let me see, go back, go to footer CSS. And the reason why I'm copying this, because this isn't really React, I guess, besides, I mean, if you want to say the React icons, you can say. So just go to the CSS, copy that, then paste that in here. And then I'm not sure if I did, I'm pretty sure I went line by line too on the footer CSS in the previous tutorial too. So again, if you want to see everything that line by line, then just go check out the video in the description. And let me see what happened here. Let's refresh really quick. Okay, yeah. So right now nothing's showing up. So I'm gonna go now to go over to app.js now, and underneath the switch, I'm just gonna pass in the footer component that we just had. Save it, and it should load up at the bottom. All right. So it's nice and clean. So again, this is basic HTML and CSS style, but just with React and JSX. So again, if you want to see how like all this stuff works line by line, just go back to the previous tutorial, and I have in the timeline like exactly where it starts, so if you want to check that out. But again, if you want me to make a separate video too, I can too, but this is, you can just read the code, I'm pretty sure you'll have it. But the main part was to show you this section here. Now you can reuse this. So now let's finish up and let's add in the pricing component. So that's something that isn't in my previous video. I made this one brand new, and I'll actually code this one out because this one's, I don't have any videos showing how I did it. So let's just go to components, right click this and click on new file. I'm going to say pricing.js, and then also right click components, new file, and let's just say pricing.css. So here, let's go over and let's pretty much utilize the same thing, RFCE. And then inside of this, I want to say dot pricing underscore section. Press tab, and this is copying right now. I don't know why it's doing that. And then here, let's do dot pricing underscore wrapper. And then let's do h1 dot pricing underscore heading. And then let's just say pricing here. And now underneath the h1, I want to say dot pricing underscore container. And then I'm gonna have a link. So link, press tab, and let me control space so I can import this. Set the to equal to slash sign dash up. And then also I want the class name of this to be pricing underscore container dash card. Now in the link, I'm gonna say dot pricing underscore container dash card info. Press tab. And then in here, I'm going to say dot icon. Now underneath that, I'm going to pass in this icon from React. So FA capital FIRE slash, close it out. And this is essentially React icon here. I did the control space to import this. And then under here, I'm going to say H3 is going to be starter. And then we have H4 is going to be $8.99. And then we're going to say P, so per month. Now under here, I'm going to pass in UL. I'm going to say dot pricing underscore container dash features. And then here, I'm going to say LI to be 100 transactions. Next LI is going to say 2% cash back. And then the last LI is going to say $10,000 limit. And now under the UL, I'm just going to go underneath this, and we're basically going to add the button component now. So let's say button. So this is how it's reusable. So you can pretty much have it anywhere you want, and then command or control space to import it. And then let's do button size equals to btn dash, let's see, btn dash dash wide. And then I want the button color equal to primary. So inside here, I want to just say choose plan, save that. Now outside of, oh, I'm going crazy. Outside this button, I'm just going to have the closing div and then the closing link tag. And then underneath this link tag, I'm going to say pretty much the exact same thing, except we're just going to change like the logo and the text and everything. So we're just going to say copy this here and then paste it. And then here we can change this icon to BSX diamond fill. So import that. Let's see if it did it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's importing it properly. Let me make sure. Yeah, it doesn't look like it imported right. So I'm just gonna go and add this link here. So I'm gonna say imports BS XD diamond fill from React dash icon slash BS. So it's a different thing from Font Awesome. And then here we can pretty much change up the stuff. Let's just say gold here. Price, let's just put $29.99 per month. How many transactions we want? We want 1,000. Let's do 2.5, and let's do 100,000 limits. And then we just basically copy this again. This one wasn't too bad. Paste it. Change this one to, I think, diamond. Price, let's do $99.99 per month. Unlimited. 5% cash back, and let's say under here, unlimited spending. And then here I want this to be GI crystallize. And I don't think that imported it. So yeah, I have to go up, import that again. So let's go imports, curly braces, GI crystallize from React icon slash GI. And then I need to import the icon context. So let's do imports, curly braces, icon context from React dash icon slash lib. Now let me just double check all of my code to make sure we are good. And now let's add under, let's go back to the top, and let's just say icon context dot provider. And then I want to just close it out really quick so we can get the second piece. But in here I want the value equal to a double curly braces, and I want to set the color for all the icons to be white. And then I want to set the size to be 64. And I need the color needs to be around in quotes. And also I didn't put the icons in. I have a class around it because when I try to do margin bottom on it directly, it wasn't doing it, so I had to add a div around the icon for that, which we'll see in just a second. But basically if I go here, Command B, and I want to add this to our home page. So go now to the left, go to home page, go to home data, and in between the two, underneath that, let's say pricing, enter, and let's just add it there. And now it's gonna tell me, let's see, I need to wrap, so I must be missing some sort of let me see if I mistype something. Yeah, so I don't remember. Yeah, so just make sure you have the closing tag around the bottom. Yeah, Christopher. No, right. Yeah, so make sure you have that there. And then let's see, is it working? Yeah. So now it works here. And then if I go to the second, third, fourth one, now we have our beautiful pricing cards. Alright, just kidding, we have to add CSS to that. So let's go ahead and add some CSS. So here, nothing too crazy, but let's do pricing underscore section, padding to be 100 pixels by 0 by 160 pixels, display flex direction column, and then under here justify content center, and then background I want it to be like a not white but like not dark either, so you can't really tell right now. But here let's do dot pricing underscore container dash card. Let's say background, I want it to be a linear gradient 45 degrees with a hashtag of 0660E9 0%, comma, hashtag 276 AFB 100%, and a semicolon. What happened? All right, semicolon here, and then let's do box shadow to be 0, 6 pixels, 20 pixels, RGB, A of 56, comma 125, comma 255, comma 0.2. And then width, I want it to be 280 pixels. Height, I want it to be 500 pixels. Text decoration to be none, and then border dash radius to be 4 pixels. And then under there we're gonna have dot pricing underscore container dash card. I want to target the nth child, so the second one, and I want to do transform scale to be 1.05. So this is just going to make the middle one a little bigger. So right now you can't really see anything because I think I didn't import the let's go back to pricing.js. Let's import /pricing.css. So nothing yet. Yeah, we haven't got that far yet. So let's go here and then let's do background to be #242424. And maybe because it's responsive, is it not working right now? Yeah, let me just finish adding this first, and then if I see anything wrong, I don't know, we'll see. That should have actually worked. So let's make sure pricing container card. Let's check the let me see. Let me Command Shift C really quick. Make sure we're even targeting this. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's showing it. It's showing up here. So maybe I need to let me change something really quick. So let me go to sure /pricing. Did I spell everything right? Let me just check really quick. So I add a color red. It's working. Okay, so you couldn't see everything because it was white. I was like, what's going on? All right, so we're pretty much good here. But let's go back here and then let's add the under this nth child. Let's do dot. Let's just copy this because it take forever. So yeah, actually yeah. Let's add under the nth child to margin of 0.24 pixels. And then here I'm going to say, I'm just going to copy this class, pricing card, container card. And then I want to have this say hover actually. Hover. And then I want to say transform scale 1.06. And then transition to be all 0.3s ease dash out. And then last but not least, I want it to be #1C2237, not $. Let me change that. And I might be missing a no, it should be working. Hold on, let me make sure I spelled everything right. Yes, I just gotta add more classes to this first. That's probably why it's not showing right now. So it looks like we got the hover effect there. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, so now under this, I'm gonna do pricing container now. So dot pricing underscore container. Let me just bring this over here. I'm gonna say display flex. All right, so now that makes more sense. I was like, what is going on? All right, here we go. Now I can see it. All right, so this is pretty much what we have so far. So then you can see the scale stuff works right here. Awesome. Okay, then we're gonna say justify content center. What happened? And then we're gonna say align items to be center here. Awesome, cool. And then we're gonna say dot pricing underscore wrapper display flex direction column align items, not content. Let's see, align items to be starts, and then margin will be 0 auto. So it just centers it, and then underneath this, let's do dot pricing underscore heading. Say color equal to 1C2237. Margin dash bottom to be 24 pixels. Let's do dot pricing underscore container dash cart info display flex direction column height to be 500 pixels, padding to be, should be padding 24 pixels. Let's say align dash items to be center, and then color will be hashtag FFF. So now we're making some progress, okay. And then let's do dot pricing underscore container dash cart info h3. Let's do margin bottom to be 5 pixels, and then font size to be 24 pixels. And then for the h4, I'm going to say dot pricing underscore container dash cart info for h4 will be font size of 40 pixels. And then here we'll do, let me just copy this again. For the p tag, let's say do font size is 14 pixels. Margin dash bottom to be 24 pixels. Okay, looking much better. And let's just do dot pricing underscore container dash features, and let's just say margin 16 pixels 0 by 32 pixels. List style to be none. And then under here we'll just copy this again, except I'm going to say li, and then I just want the margin dash bottom to be 10 pixels. And then let's do a dot, let's say I actually have it twice. Yeah, so let me make sure I have everything. Let's go here and just do display flex direction column. Let's do align dash items center. And then last thing before the media queries, you're going to say just icon will be margin of 24 pixels by 0. And that's pretty much what we got going on right now. And this isn't without the media query. So the one thing is this middle link, I want to go back to pricing. And I think should be the 1000. And it says BTN size, or BTN size is wide, color is primary. So it should not be primary. I think it should be, let me put blue. Yeah, let me put blue real quick. All right, it looks much better. All right, so boom, now we got that here. And then let's go back to the pricing CSS. And now we just need to add the media queries, because right now when we shrink it, it just does not do anything. So here, add media screen, and will be max width of 960 pixels. I'm going to say dot pricing underscore container will be display flex direction column, justify content center, line items center, width to be 100%. Then under here, I'm going to say dot pricing underscore container dash card, width to be 90%. And then we have dot pricing underscore wrapper to be margin of 30 pixels, display flex direction column, align items center. And then here, let's go to the, let's do just dot pricing underscore container dash card nth child of 2 transform scale 1, and then let's do background to be hashtag 242424, margin 24 pixels. So now it's a little wider. And the last one, we're gonna have the pricing underscore container dash card colon hover transform to be none. So right now when I hover, it doesn't scale it, and looks nice and clean here. All right, so shrink it over, boom. Check it out. Now you can basically place this component wherever you want. So if like I want to go here and go back to home.js and I want to add another one like to the top. I don't know why you do this, but you could. We can go up here and basically it's right there. So you could technically egg these custom cards into other components where you can like pass in the data, but since I'm only having it like right in this section and I'm not reusing it like the other ones, then I just have it like that. But feel free to refactor the code and send me a link. But let's get rid of this now. And now the last thing I want to do, because for the most part the main parts are done, but the thing is whenever we like click on something, like we don't have anything here. So that's basically what I'm going to show you how I did that. So pretty much you just go to pages, new folder, and then we'll do services first. So say services, and then within the services folder, new file. Let's say data.js, and then also new file in the service folder, services.js. And then we're literally just gonna straight up copy the homepage data, because this is just filler stuff to just show you like how I did it. So copy the data from homepage back into services, and then services just straight up copy. You pretty much copy the same thing too for home here. The only difference is we're not going to use pricing on here. Actually, yeah, we can keep that. Never mind. Let's just get rid of like these real quick. And I think I did. Let's just do that for now. And let's just say, put that as 1. And then save that. And now if I switch to services, nothing happens. And the reason is because we got to go to app.js. And then we have to import this route. So let's copy this down here. Change the path to services. Take off this exact word right here. And then they can just say component services here, and then all we need to do is actually import this at the top. So if you want to just make your life easy, just copy home, change this, say services, and then instead of saying homepage/home, you just say services/services, paste it there, and now we have it like this. So now if I were to like go out, click on home, and now services, now you can see we have some sort of components here. Now you would obviously fill this up with whatever you make, but since we're here, let's just do it again for the products and then also the sign up, and that way we can fix everything here. So let's just say products here, and then sign up, and then let's just say sign up here. And then let's just go ahead. I'm holding Alt Shift the down arrow and we're copying it twice. So I'm gonna go to services, highlight that, Command D again. Let's change this to let's see, products. And then also for sign up, so services again here, let's just say sign up. And then Command B, let's save this and let's just create those new folders here. So go to pages, new folder, let's just do products. Within the products folder, let's do a new file, products.js, and then I'm just gonna pass in the data for now. Data.js. Just copy and paste the exact stuff here. So services, let's copy and paste this. And the one problem was this should be services, not home. So yeah, let's change that there. And then we can get rid of these since we're not using them. Yeah. And then for the products, same concept, just say products. See products. And then just do it again. Except we can just say 2 just so you can see there's a difference. And right now it's saying product not available, so let's make sure we have everything set up properly. Components, pages, products, that's products. So let's see, make sure let's see. Data, let's see, React, Hero, objects, and pricing. Then app.js here. So it looks like product is fine, it's just saying sign up was it. Okay, I was going crazy for a second. All right, now let's do it again. New file, folder, sign up. And then let's just new file here. Let's just say sign up.js. And then new file, let's say data.js. Let's just copy this for now. This is just filler just to show you like how I did everything. But yeah, let's copy this into sign up here too. And then let's just do sign up. And then sign up. Should be lowercase. Let me just leave, yeah, let me just say this one to be 3 here, and let's just get rid of this real quick. And let's refresh. It should be working. I don't know why it's telling me it's not. All right, there we go. So now when I go over, this is currently the services page here. Products, sign up. So I think I have products and services the same. So let me just change products really quick. Let's just say 4 this time. So now we got home, services, products. Why is it not updating? Services here, products. So let's change the data on products 4. I don't know why it says the same. It should not say the same thing. Home object 4, home object 4. Oh, it's gonna have pricing up here. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so now, did I not save it? What's going on here? This should be here, section 4. So why is it showing me? Doesn't make any sense. Hold on. All right, so now we're actually acting so weird today. What the heck? So now services, products, sign up, home, and then mobile responsive. Everything looks like it's working. Now the one thing I did want to show you, I showed you in the beginning, that's like a little extra, and you probably wouldn't know this, but basically when you click on these links, let me go to footer really quick. In order for you to import like a YouTube link, for instance, like this, you have to say 2 equals curly braces, and then / www dot whatever your link is. So this is what I did, and then basically at the end, go here, click it, and then it'll open up the new file here. So again, this is pretty much the website. And if you want to see that, yeah, let me go back. You want to see how I made the footer like line by line, then it's this video right here. So I'll link that one in the description. But this should be, yeah, it's pretty much the entire design for today. So if you did enjoy this video, saw some value in it, then definitely go down below, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you think, share this with your friends, let me know. And aside from that, if you want to follow me along my coding journey, where I'm literally just learning code and documenting it and building random things for you on my channel, then definitely make sure you subscribe so you can follow me along that journey. And aside from that, I will see you in the next video. Peace.